Hello, welcome back to the stream. So what we got this Eldrazi ramp deck. Try to get in there early with an Emrakul's Messenger. We do have a little bit of ramp in the form of Nightshade Dryad. Writhing Chrysalis is going to be a key card for us. We don't have many of the fight removal cards, but we do have some removal, some single target. We've got some bounce. We've got our finishers. We've got two pieces of equipment, one that does a little cascade effect with, and another that just makes a 6/6 trample when it comes in. So it comes in with a free creature, but you really want to take this as soon as possible. Maybe get some utility out of that creature, but you want to take this as soon as possible and put it on your giant monster threats that have Annihilator, or just your giant monster threats. We do also have a Glaring Freshraker, so we can turn our little drone production abilities into indirect damage. We do also have It That Heralds the End, so we can turn in any of the spawn tokens that we do create into a small army of 1/2s. So I've been on some boards where that matters. But our primary way of winning the game is going to be to make a big Annihilation guy. For sure. Or just make big, scary creatures. But we do have some good early game here. So we'll try. See what we can do. Game 1. I expect modified decks seem to be faster. I expect that modified decks can do pretty well. And Eldrazi just comes down to whoever draws the biggest, bestest stuff fastest. One thing we're missing in this deck that I wish we had was lots of early ways to get spawn tokens. We just don't have a great many of them. We'll play our colorless land first. I'm not in a hurry to go get an island with it. That being said, I think I am going to go ahead and get an island with it. I want to be able to cycle at least one of these. We're going to get our Void Pouncer out early though. Try to soften them up a little bit. And get them down to 14. That would be really nice. I wonder if he blocks here. We're going to find out. No. Yeah, so he wants to make spawn tokens just like I want to make spawn tokens. So I'm going to wait. Cycling is an instant speed thing, so I can do it at the end of their turn. Definitely want to pitch one of these, because right now there's no guarantee that we're going to even get to 7. No real bonus here to doing the kicker for this guy, to try and power him out early. So we're not going to try to get him out early or anything. Just go ahead and make a spawn token. I think we may even make a second spawn token. Oh no, this is what we wanted here. So, nice thing here is this is also an instant, so we're going to wait. We'll see what he does here if he trades. I would probably trade the Dryad, although he looks like he's stumbling on mana a little bit. So, probably not. So we got our goal with this guy. Getting him down to 14 is pretty good. This is an instant, so my only reasoning for casting it now is that I don't want him to counter it. So that would be pretty bad. We're trying to get our second island, and it's really important that we do so. So I want this spell to go off. And the other thing that's nice here is that I do think next turn we're going to get to make a Ravager, which with him stumbling on mana, that's pretty good. One thing that does suck is he does have a Death Toucher, but here's the thing. He is stumbling on mana. And if he just blocks it, he's lost. The cool thing about Annihilators, if you block with a Death Toucher, he's also had to give up something else for with Annihilator. Now, that may be something small, like a token, but it's still something, and that means that my thing has been more effective. I've got access to 6 mana right now if we sacrifice a spawn token. And because we have another land in hand, I think that's the way I'm going to roll. I want to get this Ravager out, because sooner we start annihilating, sooner we start pulling ahead even more. Because usually what they're going to get rid of, they're going to get rid of a spawn token if they can, or they're going to get rid of a land if they can afford it. In this case, he's probably just going to be getting rid of a spawn token, which is kind of like not a real card, but it is still, since it is a way for him to get toe-to-toe with me. Now, he could make his own Ravager Path of Annihilation, very good card. That's actually brilliant, because it turns all your Eldrazi into mana darts, and they get any color too, so very good turn for him. Very key card. If you see this card in the draft, you really have to take it if you're in Eldrazi, because it's important. He's looking pretty good at the moment. The fact that I get to turn this Ravager sideways is going to be really good. He's probably going to block the Void Pouncer now, and I think I'm okay with that. Right now, what I want to do is I just want his board to be smaller. So anything I can do to make his board smaller is going to be something I'm happy with. We're going to make a nice big 6/6 thing. Yeah, so we're making the board smaller. That's the name of the game. At some point we should be able to get this Ravager back. Not right now though. Wait a minute. Enchantment. Can I kill enchantments with this? Yes, I can. So I can do all of the things, I think. Here. There. Yeah. So we're going to get rid of Path of Annihilation. We're also just going to go ahead and bounce back one of his spawn tokens. I don't really care about this messenger, and it's easy enough for him to recast, but getting to get rid of that Path of Annihilation really disrupts his game plan. He lost effectively kind of what I'm calling a near infinite amount of mana, because he should be able to cast anything in his hand if he's able to not sacrifice the spawn tokens. So now we're in a spot where we want to cast the Dread Mask, but we can actually make a Lurker, which is just ever so slightly better, because that gets us a spawn token. One more spawn token, and actually, honestly, this 2/2 is not a special game piece at this point. So sacrificing this and this to get back the Ravager seems pretty good. But first, let's go ahead and attack. Get all the damage we can. And this is instant, so I don't need to be in a hurry to do this. I can do this at the beginning of turn. I can do it at the end of turn. I can do it at the end of their turn. It's probably what I'm going to do. Thing is, I have things to cast. Maybe I should just cast Depth Defiler. Seems like that might be okay. We'll just see what they do here. Ooh, they got to evolve all their Propagator drones. Cool. They had their own way to make all their little guys just ever so much bigger. And he can't play his own Wastegate Battle Mage. Oh yeah, I'm relatively fine with that. Go ahead and stick the Junior Lurker back in my hand. I'll get another spawn token out of it. This is a problem. He's got a bunch of 2/3s. That's pretty bad for me. We're in a bit of a spot. Can't attack. Can't make this guy, unfortunately. I think he just gets to go around us. I can make the best play I can make is to put lots of things on the board. So that's what we're gonna do. Put as many things on the board as we can. Nice thing too is since I can sacrifice this guy at instant speed, I can block, I can chump block, and then sacrifice to get the Raptor back. I don't think we win this game from here, but it's not over yet, so that's pretty good. That 3/3 fire mode is going to give him like past my defenses, and just the thing that has won him this game, I think, is definitely the propagator drone, making all of these Eldrazi spawn a threat. Because now I can't block them profitably anyway. So let's do the obvious block here. Do this. Do this. Get rid of one of them with a death touch. And then we can team up somewhere, I think, and take that 3. I don't like it, but definitely need to get rid of some of these spawn tokens. Maybe make it here. On the off chance that he lets my Dryad live, I'll be pretty happy. Which is probably what he should do. So then, what I do here is I go ahead and sacrifice these 2 if it lets me, to get the Ravager back, because they're not doing anything in combat anyway. I just think he's going around me, and he's doing it very effectively. Because I can't fill up this board with enough things right now to bounce back. Can I cycle this and then still cast another thing? No, I need 9 mana for that. I need 9 mana for any of the really good plays. Probably missed a chance to get my my island. That would have helped. The thing that puts most bodies on the board is this. I still think he just gets to go around. This propagator drone's nuts. Pretty much when you're Eldrazi, anything you cast, any creature spell is going to make your spawns bigger. Honestly, don't know what I could have done differently that game. I don't think there was a set of plays that were different. I think I played as optimally as I could. We got our early damage in. We played as aggressively as possible. I think the thing where he beat me here was that my high end was just too slow. Like, it didn't. And he went wide with his Eldrazi. So that's the power of, I'd say, propagator drone right there. Busted card. One reason I wish I did have the false idol is because it makes a spawn token a turn at bare minimum. Like, if it doesn't do its other thing, you're at least guaranteeing that you're sort of ramping every turn. That's the kind of thing that this deck would actually really benefit from, since I have that other game plan of making my guys a little bit bigger. Funny thing is, like, make his guys bigger was much better than my make guys bigger. So I see right here, what it looks like we've got is a plan to get it that heralds the end out, and then cast an early Glimpse of the Impossible to go on ourselves. But we're gonna be still pretty small on that board, and I fully expect it that heralds the end to get killed. It's a pretty vulnerable card at a 2/2. Okay, change plans. I'm going to cycle away the Lurker so that we get a spawn token. And then we're going to make our Chrysalis next turn. Be right back in 2 seconds. I just got to get more coffee. Alright, so he's doing what you would expect him to do with the expanding ooze here. He's making it big. When it attacks, it'll just keep growing. Not even thinking about blocking that right now. My plan here is basically to just try and get bigger with Chrysalis. Eldrazi spawn. We'll go ahead and attack here, because what I plan on doing is just chumping that guy with a spawn token, and then sacrificing it to make the Chrysalis bigger. We're only getting 1 damage in, so it's kind of silly, but we're not going to block to kill this thing. We're going to block to just get in the way of this thing right now. Although I suppose, if it comes as a 6/6, if I sacrifice all of my tokens, I can make the Chrysalis big enough to withstand that attack. But I can't handle a trick, any sort of trick, and we're just toast. So we're doing the chump plan if he does attack. It's because he's signaling to me here that if I block, he's going to hit me with a trick, I think. So we'll just do this, and then we'll sacrifice that token, grow the Chrysalis, be just fine with that, not take any more damage. Territory color, that's another one of those like key ways to get ahead when you're in the Eldrazi deck. We do have enough to make the Ravager. I like that, but I think I actually like doing Glimpse of the Impossible here more, because I can also make the Messenger if there's nothing worth casting there. Go as far as Slice would be nice, but I don't think I don't have the right mana for it. Can I do mana of any color? I think I can cast this. I think it's crazy, that's why. I don't see any way for me to get red. Alright, so I think we make our Messenger, although it doesn't really do anything on this board. It is in play now. And that was the only thing we could do, so... we don't have any attacks. But we do have a bunch of Eldrazi spells. he should be getting ahead because of the territory color. That basically allows you to draw a creature card, or if you don't reveal a creature card, then you can drop it. You can surveil, basically. So it's kind of cool because you're either getting a free card every time you play a land, or you're getting closer to a good card because you're going to pitch away something that you don't use or that you can't use. And if you keep something on top, it means it's a really humdinger of a spell. So we need to get a second forest, but I also think putting out a 6/6 Annihilator is fine here. So we'll do that. We don't have an attack because he's got reach, unless we're willing to send in our Chrysalis, which I don't think is on the menu right now. I'd say the awkward thing we have going on right now is that basically because of how our lands are set up, we are a little slow to be able to cast our stuff. We're basically having to do all the things that we want to do at least one turn later than we would like to do them. And that is an actual liability. Like, that's a problem. I really like the sack lands with territory color. It just allows you to do what you need to do. I will say territory color is a card that it puts you at risk of self-milling pretty. So Horrific Assault, it's a very good card, but if you're playing against other Eldrazi, it just doesn't seem to actually really do the thing that you want it to as effectively. Still, I'd take as many of them as you can. The 3 life matters, so he's attacking with the Dreadmont. We know he doesn't have a trick now, so we can go ahead and put this in front of it and just sacrifice enough Eldrazi spawn to best it. Because he can't have a trick. He's got no cards in hand. So we just ate his germ, which, you know, me losing some of my spawn might actually be somewhat worse. But I am going to get to remake this guy. And since this game piece, that game piece does matter if I draw any extra cards. So I think we're going to go ahead and get rid of the spawn. And that grows our Chrysalis and just gets us back another Annihilator. So nice thing here, we can go ahead and go for our other forest and then make our Ravager. I think that's the thing. One of the things about Ravager is if you, it may be somewhat easy to kill, but if you can make them, I did that wrong, by the way. But if you can make them kill it over and over again, you're getting ahead. We could attack, but theoretically he just gets rid of an ooze or a color. Color would be a good thing for us to lose, or for him to lose, but not at the price of this infinite power blocker that we have. So I think we're just going to look to try and get more spawn tokens with Emrakul's Messenger. We've got another one coming in the form of Serum Visionary. Also like the Colossal Dreadmask here as my next play. That seems pretty good. So he's got a 12/12 now. See, a 12/12 is not really a bother to us. 13/13 even. Now it does suck that right here I'm losing probably my Chrysalis. And that is a problem. But it has to be done. So that does make my own Dreadmask be the better play right here, because that gives me a nice 6/6 creature, allows me to block again, and I think I'm actually going to just take a hit from the whatever he equips, because I want to start annihilating. I may only get a land here, but the next turn I get something else. Probably Sage is a good thing for him to get rid. Oh no, he wants the colorless there. So if I can get him to lose... Ooh, that's an interesting block. I did not expect it. I like that. I need colorless, so I'm not going to sacrifice this. I also would prefer to not have a 1 in 3 chance to draw lands, but my 1 in 3 chance goes down to like a 1 in 2.8 chance if I sacrifice it. So it's not that impactful. So he's got a 9/9 and a 0/4. I think 10/10. Sorry. I lose my board if I block. So I don't think I block here. I don't like it that I'm not getting to trade with him here, but the numbers just aren't right there. So this is good. I get to do two things that I kind of want to do. I get to do this, draw a card, make a spawn. Getting something good. Not sure that I should have kept that other guy on there. So I have two ways to look at this right here. He's got a lot of life, but I need to impact that life total a little bit. I think we attack with this guy and this guy. Or not. I think we just attack with the messenger. Yeah. This way we can block the ooze with this big thing and this big thing. We might take a little bit of trample over the top. But we would get to remove that threat. So, yeah, we're going to take 1 point of trample here by blocking this way. We can take no trample and have one thing left. Yeah, we'll take no trample and have one thing left. Probably just going to leave us with the visionary. That's fine. We've got rid of the scariest threat on the board. We have our own equip that just answers their equip pretty well. Oh, he left us with the 6/6. Interesting. I think that must have been a mistake. So when we attack, we're shrinky dinked for a turn. Got to keep that in mind. But no, I think we're good here. We're gonna make a big scary thing. And then we will go ahead and sacrifice one of these guys to make another thing that just replaces. So we're just muddying up the board there. And then we can attack in the air, because that's what we do. It's only for one, but we're not doing anything with that flyer anyway, if we don't attack with it. So gotta keep an eye. I got work today, so I think I'm pretty much ready to go though. Sneaky stacker. No, I don't care about that guy. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be that interesting. I think we should go ahead and sacrifice our two spawns here to go ahead and get back the Ravager. Those spawns aren't doing anything. We make this guy. This guy. I'm actually not going to attack here. Oh wait. I think I'm dead. I think I'm dead. He's gonna equip this and... yeah, he equips this and I lose. I mean, there's no way around that. There's the benefit for Colossal Dreadmaw though, and some puny flyers. Oh jeez. Yeah, we're dead. There was nothing we could do. Yeah, big old trample flyer. And I've only got one flyer. So there's a liability of those Eldrazi decks right there, is that you just don't have a lot of protection against flying. You don't, as an Eldrazi, you don't get a lot of big flyers. I guess I should have equipped this guy. That would have worked. If I'd equipped my flyer, that would have worked. At least bought me a turn. I still think I lose that game, but hard to say if you don't do the right thing. So yeah, flying is a problem. Gotta start assessing those threats better. This deck doesn't really ramp fast enough. Maybe having that other mana dork would matter. This is a weird card because it's like a modified card. Like, it does the ramp thing in the Eldrazi deck, but it's more for modification, I think. This isn't terrible. We're excited about getting to get our Fleshraker in play. We're missing mountain mana right now, which is not great. We are definitely going to adapt this guy if he's alive. At the beginning of this next turn. What an ugly, ugly goblin. Not as charming as this guy. Good old Fibblethip. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Oh yeah, lands count as colorless. That's interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle this first. I want to put the Fleshraker into play before I cast Glimpse of the Impossible, because that's three damage that I'm going to get out of it. That might be bad, because I think the name of this game is to get Breaker of Creation out, but I think the math works out that when I cast Glimpse is not important in the equation. And this is nice here, because now I get to cast the Fleshraker without sacrificing a spawn token. I don't like this because that's one turn of vulnerability on the Fleshraker. But you do what you gotta do. We're gonna take a Conduit Goblin hit. No, we don't care about that so much. This is cool in that he can use the energy to make a big thing hasty, if he's got the energy. Cool specs on that goblin there. Nice helmet too. So he's got a 2 damage hit. We're not sad about that. Then I think we can just do Unfathomable Truth. Let me do the math real quick. We're at 6 mana. We cast Unfathomable Truth. We go to 7. We go to 8 next turn, and then we can hard cast Breaker of Creation. That seems pretty good. And then we've still got Glimpse of the Impossible for later. So I like Unfathomable Truths here. We actually get two Eldrazi spawn there, which is nice. this is kind of cool because we've got It the Herald's the End now, so that we could actually do a pretty scary attack. I don't want to attack with the Fleshraker though, because if he's got any sort of destroy target tap creature, deal 3 damage, whatever. I don't even know what those cards are in this set, but they always have them. White always has access to some sort of, hey, if you're attacking or blocking, you're going to take some damage. So I like a couple of things here. I like making Breaker of Creation and then throwing this on there if it works. Hexproof from each color means it might not be targetable. I'm not sure. So we have to lose 2 Eldrazi spawn to make that happen. We're going to get 1 back. I think that's good. I think that's good enough to do. Annihilator 2 is just such a big deal, and Hexproof from each color is really good too. That means that he's not going to have many ways to interact with it. We're also going to gain a ton of life for casting it, because each one of our lands... What is this? I hope the server didn't just crash. That'd be annoying. It's not maintenance day, is it? What day is it? It's Monday? Monday the 24th. Did they have extended maintenance today? Oh, that would be annoying. No, it's not till tomorrow. Okay, good. Whew. Scared me there for a second. Wait, what happened? Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, what the heck happened? Oh, no. What? Oh, that's weird. It put it into a weird spot where it wasn't in my hand anymore. Ugh, I'm glad that I tried to test it again. Glad that I didn't lose it for some reason. That would have been really annoying. So he needs an answer for this. You know, a blocker that could do 4 damage would be a thing. A trick on this would be a thing. But it's a question of whether or not losing 2 lands is going to be enough of a impact for things to matter. And the thing is, ooh, that would be good if it could kill. Oh, I don't think it can. He can kill the Fleshraker though. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'll play Petrifying Meddler on Ember Mage, so that means he won't be able to block this turn or next. Yeah, he's got to try and get damage in. So he'll get in, he'll do some damage. If he uses the energy, that is. Nah. Okay, cool. Then we Petrifying Meddler. We get to hit 2 of his permanents. That just solidifies our ability to do what we need to do. And the cool thing about this also, I think we have enough mana to make It That Heralds the End as well. So we're actually going to get to hit for 9. Which means it's game over. He can't afford to be sacrificing 2 permanents every turn. Alright, and so we have time for one more match and then I gotta go. Hopefully it's not the last one that we lose here. We get to play some more later. But I like how this is going. We can't handle a fast modified deck. The Eldrazi decks come down to who gets their Annihilators down first, or their you know, their cheat card, their powerful Haymaker card first. So we've got an early Fleshraker, I think is, well, it's on time Fleshraker. We really want to get to this Writhing Chrysalis. Once we get Chrysalis on the table, we're pretty happy. I don't want to sacrifice that. I wonder if I play this as a land. I think I can make that decision. No, I need to make it now. So I'm going to play it as a land. That way I stay on curve. I can cast my Chrysalis on turn 4 like I want. Since we don't have an island, we don't get the benefit of drawing this from the Serum Visionary yet. We don't get to cast it, so just trying to get to play our things on time is the best thing we can do. This is going to be nice here. We'll get the Fleshraker. They probably kill it, but if they don't, then I get 3 Eldrazi spawn from casting the Chrysalis. And that'll be real nice. Yeah, that's good. This is good stuff. Liking where we're going so far, so we're going to do a bunch of Fleshraker damage. I joked with my last deck that I was going to try to go all 20 with Fleshraker. I want to do that at some point. I want a deck that does all the damage in the game with Fleshraker. This is not that deck, I don't think, but we just got a good chunk of the way to that being the case. Chrysalis is such a nice thing to have on the board too. You're able to say, well, this thing's much bigger than it looks. Getting me to sacrifice my spawn tokens though does suck for me. Yeah, go ahead and attack with that guy. I can take 1 damage. That's fine. I could jump, but why? So this is a bite, so if I grow this it doesn't matter because he's got Death Touch. So he was just trying to get me to sacrifice another piece, which is fair enough. The nice thing here is I can get a smack in with the Void Pouncer, or I can make a Drownyard Lurker. I think making the Drownyard Lurker is just better. I'm going to get 2 spawn tokens back, and I'm going to do a ton of damage with the Fleshraker as part of that exchange. So I'm happy with that. It's not the worst. We really would like an island. Island would be really good right now. Oh, but I guess the Nightshade Dryad does that job. So next turn we want to make our Dryad. We're going to save this Void Pouncer. I think. We might be able to do both next turn. We draw a land, we can do both, I think. And it's worth it to do because if we sacrifice both of these, we're still going to get 1 back from the Fleshraker. So we're not really hurting ourselves too badly by sacrificing these guys. They're there to be used. Deuce of the Restless, what are you going to do? Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I like that. Do something instructive with that. Okay. 4. We do still have an attack with the Lurker. We don't have an attack with the Void Pouncer now, though. They don't have any artifacts or enchantments right now, so I think we just sit on this for now. We're going to make our Dryad. That way we've got our blue mana. We'll go ahead and attack with the Lurker too. Because we have a chance of getting rid of that Chrysalis, which seems good. Create Tarmogoyf tokens. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage. That's interesting. That's really cool. I like Dees of the Restless a lot. They made some really neat legends this set. They made some clunkers too, but yeah, that makes sense. The thing that sucks here is I don't want to play Battle Mage and bounce the Chrysalis. That just makes the Chrysalis stronger in a weird way. But I think I do want to grab an island. I probably should have done that already. Yeah, I definitely want to grab an island. That way I can make the Depth Defiler. Well, no, right now it doesn't really matter. I need both an island and another colorless land. Oh my god. That's bad. Breaker of Creation. Now he did have to sacrifice to get some of that to happen. We're going to Battle Mage for sure to bounce that. Yeah, that's our play there. We'll bounce that. Just slow him down a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. Hexproof from each color. Can we bounce that? I don't think we can. That's not good. So our plan is basically just to try to block it with the Death Toucher. That means we can't use this mana. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness this doesn't have trample. That's important. Yeah, I think we draw on our extra card. We got our own Breaker of Creation, that's good. Might be too late. I'm making the Pouncer here to get an extra Eldrazi. We're going to need some extra permanents on the board. I can still attack with my Vigilance. We want to get our own Breaker of Creation into play. We can sacrifice Serum Visionary, and I think we can handle sacrificing one of our tokens. What did he block with? Oh, he blocked with Breaker of Creation. That's about the best thing we could hope to have happen right there. That's great. Yeah, this is good. So we've got a great 1-2 coming up. We're going to be able to make a Breaker of Creation, and then we're going to be able to use Wastegate Battle Mage. I see. So he's getting back the Breaker of Creation. Can he actually cast it this turn, though? No. So that's important. That's really important. The fact that I'm going to get mine on the table first matters. So he's giving all of his modified creatures trample. That does make his Writhing Chrysalis trample, which is important. Temperamental Oozewag is an important card. Like, it does its thing even outside of a dedicated modified deck. We go ahead and block with a Void Pouncer here. We're not bothered by that in the least. Oh, did I just give him the mana to be able to make his Breaker of Creation? Probably. That's okay though. Now we can't bounce his Breaker of Creation, but we can have ours on the table first, and that matters. but we can bounce. You know, there's a point where once this guy has some counters on it, it's actually pretty good to bounce it. Because then it basically resets it. I'd say anytime you've got more than 2 counters, it becomes a good bounce target. So he gets his own Breaker of Creation. He's probably going to be willing to trade. I wonder how I do this here. Messenger. I can't cast Depth Defiler if I do that. This is difficult. So we'll do this one. Gives us a bunch of spawns. We're going to bounce back the Oozewag. That way he's got to give up his Chrysalis if he's going to block. Or his Breaker of Creation. We're fine with either one of those things being the thing that he has to surrender. The fact that he's losing 2 other pieces, probably just spawn tokens, but we're still going to be able to block with a Death Toucher on his Breaker, which is okay. I think that makes our board look a little bit better than his. Now that, assuming he doesn't have any sort of interaction. Oh wait, we know the cards in his hand, so we know he doesn't have interaction. At least not yet. So we can't actually make the messenger here because we don't want to use this guy. That's our blocker for a Breaker of Creation, so. Interesting though, he didn't block with his own Dryad. He must have plans. This is pretty good here. I mean, getting to turn this team into Trample Team is alright. So now I like the idea of getting to bounce this Chrysalis when I cast Depth Defiler. I do have to tap down my Nightshade Dryad to do that. But I still think it's the right thing to do. And I think I'm actually going to bounce the Dryad here. So we're going to get to do a thing we want to do anyway. Wow, that got a concession. I did not expect for that to lead to concession. It still was not my game. That was very good for me, but it was not my game yet. I guess he was just looking at it going, well, he was looking at my board going, well, now he's going to get to attack another time with the Annihilator, and he was just going to fall behind. And I mean, I think that's a valid point, but I don't think that was my game. Unless he had nothing remaining in his deck that was going to be impactful, I would not have given up there. I mean, he's got to give me the chance to screw up. I mean, if he'd watched my stream, he'd know that I'd probably screw up somewhere. But no, we did good so far. I'd say, you know, middling record with this. Where did it go? We're at 2-2. So to really make this good for us, we want to get to 4. I think we can get there with this deck. It's got enough stuff. I do think that a card that is unimpressive to me is It That Heralds the End. Is not as good as it looks. At least not unless you have repeatable ways to make Eldrazi spawn. Like if I had taken that amulet or the idol to the Eldrazi, whatever it's called, Idol of the False Gods, I think. That would make this somewhat better, but I do think this is a less impressive card, especially when I got to see that one that was really good. A card that is great and is always like a thing I want to see in my Eldrazi decks is Glaring Freshraker. Just the number of times that extra damage matters, and the number of times that extra spawn from every spell that you cast matters, is a big deal. Means all of your Eldrazi are hitting for 2. Any of your Eldrazi that make tokens like this guy hit for 4 just by being cast. These guys will hit for 3, or no, yeah, they hit for 3 basically, because you get 1 from the Fleshraker, you get 1 from casting it, and itself is a colorless creature, so it turns all of your guys into things that deal some base damage, which is just really good. Battling Brood Scale is less impressive. I mean, it just allows you to cast a bear that does something that ramps you when you don't have stuff that's better to do. Nightshade Dryad is just fantastic. It is the mana fixer that you want for all of your Eldrazi decks. The fact that it's a Death Toucher too is nice because it affects your combats against the modified deck, and it affects your combats against the Eldrazi decks. It makes it to where those big annihilators don't get to continue their job as often as they would like. Ghostfire Slice, I haven't even gotten to cast it because I didn't have the right mana. Good spell, I think. The deck is doing what it's supposed to, I think. It's just the guys, the players that actually got the better, tighter deck are going to beat me. So we just got to play as well as we can. And maybe I get to finish this one after work today. We'll see. I'll go ahead and post the draft though.